something clear, but your silence echoes near. We were stars in open skies, now we drift with no goodbyes. Every touch is out of phase, lost in digital delays. Tried to hold the light we made, but it flickers, starts to fade. And I'm reaching through the haze while you're slipping into space. You're out of reach, I'm shouting through a dream, falling through the static, where nothing's what it seems. You're out of reach, but I still feel the heat of all the words we didn't say. Now they haunt me on repeat. You're out of reach, like a freak. Screens between us start to glow, but the feeling's cold and slow. I pretend you're still the same, but even shadows know your name. Glitches dance across your face, I can't tell what to replace. Is it love or just a trace of a time we can't retrace? You're out of reach, I'm shouting through a dream, falling through the static, where nothing's what it seems. You're out of reach, but I still feel the heat of all the words we didn't say. Now they haunt me on repeat. If I could rewind the sound, pull you back from breaking down, would you hear me now and stay, or fade into the gray? You're out of reach, and I'm just out of time, but somewhere in this silence you'll echo in the line. Soft glow on my skin, where the quiet thoughts begin. Steady hearts in shifting light, finding calm in burning nights. Every fear we keep inside fades beneath the turning tide. I feel the pull, I feel the rise, like something waking in the skies. Closer now, I hear the call, a spark that lifts us through it all. Feel the solar pulse, holding us close. Feel the solar pulse, let it unfold. Shadows drift but don't remain. Morning
Hello
dances
everyone.
through our veins. Every step a brand new flame, lighting paths we dare.
Hello. Welcome back to our daily YouTube live. If you guys can hear my voice, you guys may type 1 in the chat room to let me know. Okay, so I will kick off with today's session first. So first of all, I will go and analysis for XAUUSD first, and after that I will go into BTC, and then the last one I will go into Ethereum. So actually for today, right, the whole day throughout, from morning until afternoon and until right now, actually it does not have a very big movement, whereby especially during in the morning session, right, it is actually in a sideways sideways patterns. Okay, so within this morning, right, it has going in this level, and it keeps on going up and down, up and down, up and down only, and that we do not foresee the price actually it has a big trend happening in today's chart. And right now, if we are looking at a bigger time frame, right, let's say I will start off with 4 hour time frame first. Okay, so for 4 hour time frame, right now we are actually breaking down towards this level, and right now it is actually retracing back to this resistance. And right now there is also a chances of the price it will be resisted by this level, which is around 4,073. Okay, and why does this small pump actually happens, right? It is also because we are currently sitting at this daily time frame support level. Yeah, it has already touches this level. So after it touches this level, and then it straight away, I foresee the price to have a small pump in 1 hour time frame and 4 hour time frame. But in 4 hour time frame as of right now, right, it is actually still downtrend, because over here I can see the price it has formed a confirmation of trends from uptrend to downtrend at this level. If I wanted to foresee the price to have a change of trends towards the upside, right, the price will have to broke this level, which is around 4,206. So long the price are below 4,200 for 4 hour time frame, we are still looking for a downtrend or a short entry for XAUUSD, because right now everything it is still downtrend in a higher time frame bias. So right now 4 hour is downtrend, but actually in 1 hour time frame, right, things are a bit different. The reason is because in 1 hour time frame, it has actually forms a change of trend in 1 hour time frame, which is around this level, around 4,084. Okay, and right now it has already broken up this level. So right now 1 hour time frame it is uptrend, but 4 hour time frame it is downtrend. So what does this actually tells us? The first thing that I notice over here is both of the time frame in, because we are using 5 minute and 15 minute for entry, but right now 1 hour and 4 hour, which is a bigger time frame for us, and we also use this as a direction, right? So both of this direction are actually going against each other, because 4 hour is downtrend, 1 hour is uptrend. So right now, most likely the chart will go into a consolidation phase for at least a few weeks. Maybe for this 2 week, it will be going into a consolidation phase. And some more, the chart it has also comes down to this level since how long? Since around a week ago, I think. Yeah, since a week ago, it has dropped around 4,000 pips from the top to the bottom in just within 12 days. So within these 12 days, it has dropped so much. So right now, most likely the market structure, eventually it will go into a resting period of time. So what do I mean by resting period of time? It is, if let's say, if I put in this example, if I want you to run 10 km, but in this 10 km, right, definitely you will be taking some rest in the middle of running process, right? So let's say after you have arrived at 3 km, and then you will drink some water, or you will rest a while. But right now, it is actually the same incidence. So over here, it has already resting for quite a while, and then after that, it continue to run this 10 km. And right now, in a bigger time frame, which is 1 hour and 4 hour time frame, it is also the same. It has dropped one more time, and right now it is actually going into a resting period of time as well. So right now, I will foresee the price to at least to consolidate for at least a few weeks. Okay, for a few weeks. And right now, if we wanted to do any trade, right, we will have to go into a smaller time frame, which is 15 minute and 5 minute time frame. Okay, so for 15 minute time frame, right now, what I foresee is there is a chances of actually going downtrend. Okay, because over here, I already noticed the price, it has actually formed a lower high over here. And this is actually, it tells us that the seller, it is actually getting stronger than the buyer already. So that's why this low, it is, this high is actually getting lower. And there is also a change of trend actually happens at this level, which is around 17:45, is around 5:45 o'clock. Yeah, 5:45. It has actually formed this change of trends towards the downside. And right now, in 1 hour time frame, we are actually also arriving at this previous low. So this level, it is actually a resistance as well because it has touches quite a few times. This is the first time, this is the second time, and this is the third time, and this is the fourth time, and right now it's the fifth time. But this fifth time, right, it is not a support anymore. It is actually a resistance because right now we are actually below this key level. Mushroom. What do you mean by mushroom? What do you mean? Okay. So right now in what 15-minute time frame, if you guys wanted to do a short entry, right? Actually, to be honest, you guys can do it. But the only thing I saw in this 15-minute time frame, the only thing that I dislike about it is because it has lowered the high is actually getting lowered the fourth time already. Okay, this is the only thing that I actually dislike about it. But this is actually another side. It has actually formed a change of trends towards the downside, and this is also the first time it has actually comes back to this 52 EMA. So if you guys really wanted to do a short entry, right, actually you guys can try to do it. Okay, later around 3 more minutes, if this engulfing candle is formed, right, then you guys can try to do a short entry over here. But it has to be engulfing lah. It has to close below this green color candle. So if this candle is closed and your cut loss, you can actually put above this level. It is around 4054.2. And let me see the TP. Give me a second. Oh, actually 1 to 3 risk reward ratio, it is actually above this previous low. Okay, we can actually try. Okay, we can actually try this trade. So in 15-minute time frame right now, even though if we are managed to TP 1 to 3 RR, right, we are actually still above this level, which is this support level. Let me change the color. We are actually above this yellow color boxes. Yeah, because this is 1 to 3 RR. Unless the engulfing it is too big. If let's say the engulfing later it has comes much more lower, yeah, then we will need to see this 1 to 3 RR, is it actually above this yellow color boxes? If your risk reward ratio it is actually above this yellow color boxes, right, which is somewhere around here, if this is your entry, yes, we can try to do this short entry because I'm foreseeing the price to actually goes into a consolidation phase. So if it goes into a consolidation phase, right, this is how it will looks like. Goes up, down, up, down, up, down, down. Because right now 1 hour time frame it is uptrend, but in 4 hour time frame it is actually downtrend. Okay, so right now both of this time frame they are actually going against each other. So if if the price actually comes back to this yellow color boxes, and if there is a change of trend happen, which is a 1 to 3 or 2-1-3 setup in 15-minute or 5-minute time frame, we can actually catch a reversal trend. Okay, but this reversal trend it is actually within this consolidation area. Okay, so these are the things that we can actually do in XAU USD. Okay, we can try to do a short entry. So it will close this candle in another 1 more minute. And as of right now, it didn't form this engulfing. Okay, the price will have to close below 4038.1. Yeah, so if the price actually close below this level, then an engulfing will only be happen. Okay, so let me go to BTC. Okay, let me see. Let me delete everything first. Okay, so right now in 4 hour time frame, overall the market it is actually still downtrend, and the latest trend that I can see, it is actually over here, which is a continuous of trend actually happens in 4 hour time frame. So right now, the price, it is actually consolidating a bit, okay, going into sideways at this area. So there are a few things or a few scenario the Bitcoin eventually it will goes. The first scenario is the price eventually it will continue to drop below. If the price actually continue to drop below, right, there is a chances of the price actually coming back to this 55,000 support level. So if the price actually comes to 55,000 this support level, right, this is actually a daily time frame support level, and the price eventually there is a chances of bouncing off from this level. Let me draw a much more detailed support level, okay, which is around 53,800. 53,800, this is actually a much more specific SNR level in daily time frame. This level, it is actually the open, high, low, close, which is a OHLC level for daily time frame. But right now, daily time frame, it is still downtrend. 4 hour, it is still downtrend. But actually, in 1 hour time frame, things are a bit different over here. Okay, things are a bit different because over here it has actually forms a downtrend over here, a downtrend, and right now if you wanted to foresee the price to actually goes back up, which is up turning into uptrend again, the price eventually it will have to close above this level, which is around 60,800. So if the price actually close above 60,800, a change of trends towards the upside eventually it will be happen. All right, this is 1 hour time frame, but right now, as of right now, 1 hour it is still downtrend. Okay, and right now 1 hour it has a very big long wick actually happening right now. Okay, right now it has actually forming this very big long wick, and there is a chances of the price it will be continuing to go down, but right now in 15-minute time frame it is actually going against the bigger time frame buyers, because 4 hour and 1 hour is uptrend, is downtrend, but in 15-minute time frame it is actually going into uptrend, because that this level it is actually a change of trends towards the upside. Okay, and there is also a lower high happening at this level. This actually tells us the seller it is actually getting weaker already, and the buyer it is actually getting into the market. And this level it has actually forms a confirmation of trend turning from downtrend into uptrend. So right now the latest trend that I actually see is this level, because this level it has actually closed above this previous high. So right now if you wanted to foresee the price to forms a change of trends towards the downside again, we will need to foresee the price to goes below 59,800. So if you want to do a short entry for for this oops for this BDC, right, what you guys can do is you guys may need to wait for this 15-minute time frame to actually forms change of trends towards the downside. So how do we actually identify? Very simple. The first thing is the market structure. The market will have to actually close below 59,800. So when the price actually comes below 59,800, right, a change of trends towards the downside eventually it will happen. And the next thing that I wanted to see is a lower high. A lower high will need to be happen. Okay, after this lower high actually happens, right, the next thing that I wanted to wait is I wanted to wait for the price to actually forms a confirmation of trends towards the downside over here, which is around 59,500. This one will need to depends on how low is actually this low. So after this actually happens, right, then the next thing is I wanted to wait for the price to actually comes back to this EMA line, which is this EMA 52. So after it comes back to this level, we can actually slowly to look for a short entry, and whereby this trade we are actually catching a 1 hour time frame and 4 hour time frame downtrend. Okay, we are actually closing we are actually doing the trend of this bigger time frame, because this is the thing that it can be much more safer for us to do, because we are actually using a smaller time frame to do a bigger time frame direction. Because as of right now, in 15-minute time frame, yes, it has a change of trend towards the upside, and there is also a confirmation, and there is also a continuous of trend happen towards the upside. But right now, the big boss, which is 1 hour time frame and 4 hour time frame, it is actually going into downtrend. Yeah, so yes, perhaps it will go into a small retracement in 15-minute time frame, but I actually foresee the price will continue to go down lah, unless in 1 hour time frame it has actually goes above 60,800. So if the price actually goes above 60,800 in 1 hour time frame, yes, then most likely in 15-minute time frame it won't be happening any short entry anymore, because it will keeps on forming a new high in BTC. Okay, so let me go into ETH. Actually, for ETH, right, usually it will goes into the same direction of BTC actually, because BTC is the big boss, so and ETH is the second bosses. So we still have to follow and respect the movement for BTC. Actually, for Ethereum right now, it has actually forms a change of trends towards the downside over here. This happened around in the morning, sorry, yesterday afternoon. Yes, and there is also a confirmation of trend happens in 1 hour time frame as well. It actually comes below this level. And right now, the price actually goes above this level again, and a change of trends towards the upside actually happens. So 1 hour time frame, it is uptrend right now, but in 4 hour time frame in Ethereum, it is actually downtrend. Okay, it is actually downtrend in Ethereum right now. So if you ask me, right, if you wanted to do a trade in BTC and ETH, right, um, because right now this bigger time frame, they are actually going in opposite direction. Okay, and somewhere in 15-minute time frame in Ethereum, right, the chart patterns, the market structure, actually it is very lousy right now. Yeah, and the whole market structure, it is like sticking up with each other. It does not have a very clear direction yet, because it has really dropped so much since last week. And we actually, since last week, we actually managed to do a short entry right before the drop actually. We actually entered this short trade over here. This is the first time we can enter, and this is the second time we can actually enter in this Ethereum. Yeah, and right now it has really dropped so much, and that's why, and it is actually normal as well for the price eventually to close into a sideways period, because overall the market, it is actually getting exhausted, it's actually getting tired. So let's give Ethereum and BTC a period of time to rest a while first lah, because it has already dropped so much. Yeah, so the only, if you guys wanted to do a crypto short entry, right, what you guys can do is you guys just need to wait for BTC to actually forms a change of trends towards the downside, which is around 59,800. Okay, yep, so if the price comes back to this level, and we will slowly to look for a short entry. All right, so let me go back to XAU. It actually didn't form an engulfing candle. Yeah, it didn't actually. Almost, but it didn't. Okay, so this trade cannot enter first. You guys may need to wait a while first. Okay, you guys may need to wait a while. Yep, but this trade, yes, although we can do, okay, we can do this short trade, but we need to be careful only lah. Now we need to be a bit careful, because right now actually overall in 15-minute time frame, it has actually formed too many lower high. Yeah, this is actually the fourth time already. This is the first time, and this is the second time, and this is the third time. So although it has actually formed a change of trend, yeah, we can actually do this short trade, but it is actually not that good. What you guys can do is you guys can adjust the margin. You guys can adjust the amount of risk. Try not to risk quite big. Try not to risk big for this trade. Yeah, try to protect your margin first because it has really dropped quite a lot already. Yeah. So if you guys wanted to do this trade, your TP must be above this yellow boxes. All right. Do you guys have any questions regarding today's analysis? So if you guys are clear, you guys may type OK in the chat room to let me know. Okay, if you guys are clear, you guys may type an OK in the chat room to let me know. Okay, so there are a few announcements that I wanted to make is, the first announcement is, if you are our student or if you are our VIP members, in this upcoming Saturday and Sunday, I will be teaching a consolidation strategy, and this strategy that you can actually use it almost every day lah. So long it is not a sideways day, yeah, you can actually make profit from it. Okay, and this strategy I will only teach if you are a VIP member or you are a student. So if you wanted to join our VIP or you wanted to ask, um, how do you actually eligible to join VIP? It is actually very simple. You just need to scan the QR code above my camera, and eventually it will lead you to my team contact number. All right. This Saturday and Sunday, it will be happening at 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock in the night time. Hello, 李凡，待会你可以进我们的华文的 Zoom。Okay. All right. So right now, I will foresee you guys in this Saturday and Sunday YouTube live. Sorry, not YouTube live. I'm sorry. This strategy. So please join us VIP, and I will teach you guys strategy over there. And I see you guys tomorrow. Bye bye. Bye bye.